Ladies, you know, there's a certain kind of woman out there, a woman so rare, so unforgettable, that when she leaves a man's life, it doesn't just leave a gap, it leaves a permanent mark. I'm not talking about some casual, passing love. I'm talking about the kind of love that sticks to a man's bones, the kind that makes him wonder years later if he'll ever find anything like it again. And let me tell you something, it's not about looks. It's not about money. It's not even about perfect behavior. It's about being real, being authentic, being the kind of woman who loves hard, loves true, and loves without hesitation, but also knows her worth. That combination, that's dangerous for men in the most beautiful way, because men don't just walk away from that. They never really recover from it. I remember one time I was talking to a man about his ex, and he said, "Steve, I just can't get over her. Nobody else is like her." And I leaned in. I said, "Man, that's not her fault. That's the way love works. When you meet a woman who knows herself and doesn't compromise her soul, men feel it. When a woman is genuine, when she's not pretending, when she's not trying to fit into some box that society or some Instagram trend says she should fit in. Authenticity is magnetic. And it leaves a man thinking, I've never experienced anything like this before. And maybe I never will." And that's just the start. Authenticity without respect is nothing. You can be real, you can be open. But if you don't respect yourself, men won't value you the way they should. Respect is powerful. Respect for yourself and respect for him. It's not about controlling him. It's about showing him how to treat someone properly by how you carry yourself, by how you demand the best for yourself without being mean about it. Let me tell you something, men notice that. They might not say it out loud. They might try to act like they don't care, but inside, they're registering every single moment when you held your ground. Every time you didn't settle. Every time you said, "This is who I am. Take it or leave it." And when they leave, they take that memory with them, whether they want to or not. Then comes the emotional intelligence. Now this is where the magic happens. Men love women who can connect, who can listen, who can support, who can change, and who can love without suffocating. You ever notice that when a woman understands a man, when she sees him for who he really is, not just what he shows to the world, but really sees him, he feels it. He feels seen, he feels understood, and there's nothing more powerful than that kind of connection. It's the kind of love that doesn't just make a man feel good in the moment, it changes him. It teaches him patience, empathy, and it makes him want to be better. That's the kind of love that leaves a man thinking, I don't know if I'll ever find that again. And let's not forget the courage it takes to love fully and still know when to let go. That's right. The kind of love that men don't recover from isn't clingy love. It's not desperate love. It's not, I need you to stay with me love. No, it's the kind of love that says, I value myself too much to stay where I'm not honored. I will give my heart fully, but I will also walk away if it's not appreciated. That walking away, man, that's what leaves a mark. Because when a woman who loves that deeply steps away, she leaves a void no one else can fill. Men never forget that void. And they never stop thinking about what they lost. They may try to move on. They may try to distract themselves. But deep down, they can't unfeel it. They can't erase it. And they certainly can't replace it. Now, some of you may be thinking, Steve, this sounds like heartbreak. And I say, yes, sometimes it is. But there's beauty in it too. There's beauty in being the kind of love that changes a man's life for the better, even if he never comes back. You see, this isn't about manipulation or games. It's about being powerful through your authenticity, being strong through your respect, being transformative through your emotional intelligence, and being unforgettable through your courage. That's the kind of love that sticks. That's the kind of love men can't get over. Because it wasn't just about what they got from the relationship. It was about who they became in the process of being loved by you. And let's be honest, men will try to replace that kind of love. They'll date, they'll flirt, they'll convince themselves that they're okay. But deep down, they're comparing. Every woman they meet after you, every new connection gets measured against the woman who loved them in a way they could never forget. And guess what? No one measures up. And that's when they start realizing what they had, what they lost, and what they can never get back. And that's not your problem. It's the mark you leave on someone's life. That's the power of being the kind of love men don't recover from. It's not about playing hard to get. It's not about being mysterious or unreachable. No, it's about being fully present, fully loving, and fully yourself, but also knowing your value. It's about teaching men how to love through your example. It's about showing them that love is not just about holding hands and kisses. It's about respect, understanding, boundaries, emotional depth, and courage. When a man experiences that kind of love, he doesn't just remember it, he carries it with him forever. So if you want to be the kind of woman men don't recover from, start with you. Be authentic. Be respectful. Be emotionally intelligent. Love fully, but never compromise your self-worth. Hold your head high when you walk away. Let them remember what it felt like to be loved by someone extraordinary. Because when you do that, you're not just a chapter in someone's life. You're the kind of story they can't ever forget, the kind of love they wish they could have again, and the kind of woman who changes men from the inside out. And that, my friends, is what it means to be the kind of love men don't recover from. It's not about being perfect. It's about being unforgettable. It's about leaving a mark that no one else can erase. And once a man has experienced that, he will never be the same again. No matter what he tells himself, no matter how hard he tries. That's the power you hold. That's the impact you leave. That's the kind of love that lasts forever. Let me tell you something about love, the kind of love that leaves a man thinking, remembering, and wondering for the rest of his life. I'm talking about the love that changes a man from the inside out. The love that stays with him even when you're gone. The love that he can't replace no matter how hard he tries. And you know what? That kind of love isn't given by just any woman. It comes from a woman who knows herself, who respects herself, and who understands the true power of being unapologetically authentic. That's right. The kind of love men don't recover from starts with authenticity. Men are not stupid. They know when a woman is faking it. They know when she's pretending, when she's putting on a show, when she's bending herself to meet someone else's idea of what she should be. But when a woman walks into a man's life and says, "This is me, take it or leave it," it leaves a permanent impression. Men don't forget authenticity. They can't. There's something about a woman who is real, who is open about her emotions, who laughs, who cries, who fights when necessary, and who loves without hesitation. When a man experiences that, he may not realize it immediately, but he will carry it with him forever. And authenticity alone is not enough. Respect is just as important, and in fact, it's what makes the love unforgettable. I'm not talking about respect in a passive way. I'm talking about respect that shows a man how to treat a woman properly. When you respect yourself, you demand the best. And you teach men how to honor your heart. You don't beg, you don't manipulate, you don't compromise your value. You set boundaries, you hold your dignity. And men notice that. They might not say it out loud, but every time you maintain your self-respect, every time you hold your ground, it creates an imprint in his mind. That imprint doesn't fade. It follows him long after the relationship ends. Then there's the part of love that's often overlooked, emotional intelligence. This is where the magic really happens. Men fall in love with women who can connect on a deep level, who can communicate without judgment, who can support without smothering, and who can challenge without breaking them down. Emotional intelligence is understanding. It's empathy, it's patience, it's knowing when to speak and when to listen. When a woman shows this kind of love, she doesn't just make a man feel good in the moment, she changes him. She inspires him to be better, to think deeper, and to love differently. And men don't forget that. They remember how it felt to be understood, to be seen, and to be loved in a way that made them better people. Now let me talk about courage, because love without courage is like a fire without heat. It's pointless. The kind of love men don't recover from comes from women who can love fully and still walk away if their value is not recognized. I know it sounds hard, and some of you might be thinking, Steve, how do you let go when your heart is so full? The answer is simple. You don't compromise your self-worth. You don't settle. You love deeply, but you never stay where you're not honored. And when you step away with your head high and your heart intact, it leaves a void that no one else can ever fill. Men remember that. They try to distract themselves. They try to convince themselves they're okay. But deep down, they feel the absence. That's the kind of love that transforms a man and haunts him at the same time. Some women think they need to be mysterious or play games to be unforgettable. That's not true. You don't need to withhold your love or act like you're hard to get. You just need to be fully present, fully yourself, and fully committed to living your life with dignity and purpose. When a man experiences that kind of love, he doesn't just remember it, he feels it in a way that changes him forever. The laughter, the tears, the late night conversations, the moments of comfort, and the lessons learned, all of that becomes a part of him. And no other woman can ever replicate that because it's uniquely you. Men also don't recover from women who challenge them in love. I'm not talking about criticism or nagging. I'm talking about a woman who pushes a man to be better, who expects him to rise to the occasion, who holds him accountable with kindness and honesty. That kind of love builds men in ways they don't even realize. And when it ends, men look back and say, no one else ever held me to that standard. No one else ever made me feel like I could be better while still being loved. That kind of love leaves a legacy. That kind of love sticks. And there's one more thing I want to say. The kind of love men don't recover from is also the kind that transforms them spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. It's not about the gifts you give or the dinners you cook. It's about the way you show up, the way you invest in love, and the way you respect yourself and your partner. It's about the moments that make them feel alive, seen, and understood. That's the kind of love that stays with a man long after you're gone. It becomes part of his story, his memory, and his soul. So if you want to be the kind of love men don't recover from, start by knowing yourself. Embrace your authenticity. Honor your self-respect. Invest in emotional intelligence. Love fully, but never compromise your worth. Challenge the man you love to be his best without breaking him. And when the time comes to walk away, do it with courage and grace. Because when you do all of that, you're not just a lover, you're a force of nature. You're unforgettable. You leave a mark that no man can erase. You're the kind of love that men don't recover from, the kind that shapes them, haunts them, and changes them forever. I want to talk to you about something real today, something every woman needs to hear. There is a kind of love you can give that men don't recover from. Not the I like you love, not the let's see what happens love, but the love that leaves a permanent mark on a man's heart and soul, the kind of love that changes him, shapes him, and stays with him long after you walk away. And I'm not talking about being perfect, because no one's perfect. I'm talking about being extraordinary in the way you love, in the way you carry yourself, and in the way you demand respect without asking for it. That kind of love, it's unforgettable, and men can't get over it. You see, men are wired to notice authenticity. Men can feel it when a woman is genuine. They know when she's being herself. And when she's pretending, the woman who is honest about her feelings, who laughs out loud without caring who's watching, who cries without shame, who loves without hesitation, she's the one who leaves a lasting impression. Men can't fake it, and they can't ignore it. That authenticity sticks with them. They may try to move on. They may try to convince themselves they're okay. But deep down, they remember the way it felt to be loved by someone so real, so unapologetically herself. That memory doesn't fade. Then there's the matter of self-respect. Respect isn't about being rigid or unyielding. It's about knowing your value, honoring yourself, and showing a man what it means to love properly. Men don't forget women who command respect without being overbearing. A woman who sets boundaries, who refuses to settle, who holds her dignity in every situation. She changes the way a man sees love. When he leaves, he carries the memory of that respect with him. He remembers a love where he had to rise to the occasion, where he had to show up fully, because anything less simply wasn't accepted. And that's powerful. That's the kind of love men don't recover from. But here's where it gets interesting: emotional intelligence. Men can't get over women who understand them on a deeper level. I'm talking about women who listen without judgment, who support without smothering, who challenge without breaking them down. The kind of love that teaches patience, empathy, and growth. When a woman loves like this, she transforms a man without him even realizing it. He doesn't just feel loved. He feels understood, seen, and inspired. And those feelings stay with him, sometimes for the rest of his life. He may try to forget, but the emotional connection leaves an indelible mark. Now, let's talk about courage, because love without courage isn't really love. The woman who men don't recover from is the one who loves fully but knows when to step away. She doesn't stay in a relationship where her value is ignored. She doesn't compromise her heart for someone who doesn't deserve it. Walking away with grace. Walking away with your dignity intact. Leaving a man to realize what he lost. That's the kind of love he can't replace. It's not spiteful. It's not mean. It's just a woman who knows her worth, and that knowledge leaves a void no other woman can fill. Men feel that absence. They may try to distract themselves, but it lingers, quietly reminding them of the love they let go. Some people confuse this with playing games, but it's not that at all. You don't have to manipulate. You don't have to hide your feelings. You don't have to pretend to be someone you're not. Being the kind of love men don't recover from is about showing up full, loving without hesitation, and living with purpose and dignity. It's about giving your heart completely while never compromising who you are. When a man experiences that kind of love, he remembers it. The laughs, the tears, the intimate conversations, challenges, the support, it all becomes a part of him, something no other woman can replicate. And don't forget the power of teaching through love. Men don't just remember a woman's affection, they remember the lessons she brought into their lives. The lessons about respect, patience, communication, and self-improvement. When a woman challenges a man to be better, when she holds him accountable with love and honesty, she leaves an impact that lingers long after the relationship ends. No one else can ever offer that same combination of love, respect, and growth. And that's why men can't recover from it. The love I'm talking about doesn't just touch the heart, it touches the soul. It transforms, it shapes, it teaches, and it inspires. Men carry that kind of love with them in ways they can't always explain. They may fall into other relationships, try to move on, but deep down, they're comparing every woman to the one who loved them like that. And no one measures up. That's the reality. The kind of love men don't recover from is unique, and it's rooted in authenticity, respect, emotional intelligence, courage, and personal growth. Some women think being unforgettable means being mysterious, keeping a man guessing, or withholding love. That's not it. Being unforgettable means being fully present, fully loving, and fully yourself. It means showing a man the depth, the strength, and the grace that comes with knowing your worth. Men remember the way it felt to be loved by someone who didn't compromise her standards, someone who expected him to rise to the occasion, someone who challenged him without breaking him. That's the kind of love that changes lives. That's the kind of love that leaves a permanent mark. And here's the truth, men never really get over it. They try, they distract themselves, they move on, but the memory stays. The laughter, the late night talks, the emotional connection, the growth they can't forget. And that's not your burden, that's your power. That's the mark you leave as a woman who loved fully, authentically, and courageously. When a man experiences that, he carries it with him for the rest of his life. No matter what he says, no matter how many years pass, he remembers. And that, my friends, is the power of being the kind of love men don't recover from. So if you want to be that woman, start with yourself. Embrace who you are. Respect your heart. Invest in emotional intelligence. Love deeply, but never settle for less than you deserve. Challenge the men you love to be their best selves without breaking them. Walk away with courage and dignity when you're